Hello and welcome to this Modurol video. In this video we're going to start to relieve the heat shield on our Jaguar XK8 in order to fit the rear transmission mount or rear engine mount, and also provide more clearance for the shifter mechanism. To help to understand why I'm doing what we're doing or why it's necessary, I've lined up the two gearboxes. So here we have the 5HP24 automatic gearbox that's come out together with its rear mount, and then we've got this 6-speed manual S653 gearbox with its mount that we're going to put in for the manual transmission swap. So first of all, you can see, I've lined them up roughly, the bell housings are lined up level. You can see at the rear, the engine or the rear gearbox mount, rear engine mount, is in a different position. Obviously the automatic gearbox is actually longer, but that mount is actually protruding out of the back of it. With the manual gearbox, it's just fitted in line with the donut at the end, and it's quite a bit shorter. So why am I having to do this on my car? Well, originally the Jaguar XK8 only came out with that 5-speed automatic gearbox. That was the only option in 1996. It wasn't until 1998, with the introduction of the Supercharged car, that a different length gearbox was available, and therefore a different rear mount location. So then, I believe from 1998, there was actually two set of rear gearbox mount locations. Further, with the introduction of the 4.2 litre cars, the gearbox length is actually identical, and the rear engine or the rear gearbox mount is identical, and it's in the same position. So ironically, if I was doing this on a 4.2 litre car, or in fact supercharged car, the rear engine mount will probably line up okay. Unfortunately, because my car is a very early car, 1996, it doesn't have the same length gearbox. It doesn't have the engine mount, the rear gearbox mount locations all in there, so we're going to have to create them. Hence why I'm having to cut away the heat shield to insert them into the tunnel. Further, whilst we're underneath the car cutting away the heat shield, we're also going to try and improve the clearance around here, which seems to be very tight at the moment. So I'm going to provide some clearance here. The gear link frame is actually touching the heat shield over here, so I've used a bit of white paint pen, marked out where I need to be clear. What I may do is cut this back, cut that completely out, then there's nothing to actually touch it. Then if that still's touching the tunnel, I may add some little rubber pads on top. The actual rear gearbox mount, then I've marked the squares I need to relieve where the mount wants to be repositioned to. Something like this. Oh, I've got it back to front, just 1 second. There, that's roughly the position. So I'm going to drill those out and see if I can't fit the gearbox rear mount. That would help. So what I'm doing, I'm very carefully drilling a row of holes, and I'm going to do that all the way around the periphery and then remove the heat shield, as I have done on this side. This was the first attempt, a bit rough. I'm getting a bit better as time goes on. So I've created the 4 extra holes in the heat shield. They're not the prettiest, but I'll tie them up later. Right. let's try the engine mount. Right, it's going to be something like that. That sort of works for me. Happy with that. There is a bit of an unfortunate thing. At this point here, in the middle of the two existing holes, there's a strengthening notch. I just hope the hole isn't going to be there. So I've got a decision to make now. I can either, one idea I've got is I'm going to make a strap between these two holes, then create an extension to add a nut here and here. That avoids drilling two extra holes, which might be a good idea. Or I can just drill two holes here in the new positions and add a nut plate on the inside of the car, which is basically a nut on a reinforced plate. Okay, for this clearing away the heat shield here, I've basically cut both halves of heat shield and folded them out of the way. Now I'm just going to present, I haven't got the gearbox in, but I'll present the shifter approximately in this position and see where we are. So I've reassembled the gear position with the gear mechanism with the right. It's just about protruding through that back mount. So if we look at this clearance now, the tight bit is just here. If I push that up, it might be best showing you here as I bring this up. Now I've got a bit more clearance. At least a couple of millimeters extra where that heat shield's been removed. There you go. So there you go. I'm holding it up now and you can see the tight area is clear of the heat shield. So I've got a couple of millimeters more clearance. Hopefully that doesn't touch the tunnel there. I may need to add a bit of rubber in that area just in case, because we don't want any knocks or bangs as we're going along the road. So there you go. The heat shield's all been relieved and hopefully we've made an improvement, i.e. we can actually locate the rear gearbox mount, albeit we need to decide whether we're going to drill holes or create some sort of bracket, and we've got an extra clearance on the shifter, but we'll have to see whether that's enough. So I apologise if it's too much detail, but I'm trying to document every little bit of modification I'm having to do on my Jaguar XK8 to make this manual transmission work. Obviously, because my car is a very early car, it is probably the most difficult version to do because lots of things that have been incorporated in later cars aren't actually there yet. As I say, if you've got a 4.2 litre car, this conversion is much, much easier because all these things have already done. Anyway, hope you're enjoying the project as much as we are. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos. Bye-bye.